Hey, what's going on, my friends? My name's Anthony, and in this quick video, I'm going to go over the Westcott Collapsible Beauty Dish and why this has been one of the best investments I've made for my photo and video career. I bought this 5 years ago. I use this every single day to do videos like this, but also go on Zoom calls, and this is also my go-to softbox for any on-location shoot, and you'll see why in a moment. I'll go over a few points to consider when buying your first softbox as well. So that being said, let's get into it. When buying your first softbox, you gotta look at how the softbox is actually put together first, before anything else. The Westcott Collapsible Beauty Dish, this is like the main attraction right here. In order to put that softbox together, you'd remove it from the travel case, put this like metal dish into this little peg thing that's on the inside, and now press the little ring in the center, and that ring will slide into that peg thing, and then you could be just ready to go and shoot just like this. Of course, this collapsible beauty dish does come with a layer of diffusion if you want that softer kind of look like what I'm going for right now, and that only takes another few seconds to put on as well, so that's no biggie. But this is the reason why I always pack this softbox over others, and this setup time is absolutely minimal and the build quality is unreal. I've thrown this into a car, out of the car, this has fallen onto the ground a few times, and I just clean it off, and this thing has still held up 5 or 6 years later. The setup time is the most crucial thing to think about if you're going to be shooting on location, but if you're looking to buy a softbox to just set up and leave in a studio, then you may only have to actually set this softbox up once, and it may not be a big deal for you how the softbox is actually put together. In that situation, I would definitely consider something a little less expensive, because this softbox isn't exactly cheap, but I'll pay ungodly amounts of money to save time. So for me, I'm like, the next thing to think about is the size of the softbox that you should get. And really this is all personal preference, but my style, like I'm always looking for that strip of darkness on the subject's face. And not every scenario obviously calls for this look, but this is like classic Anthony Jackson right here. You see how on all of these photos, even like this shot of me right here, there's a bright side of my face, and then there's a strip of contrast down one side, and then there's a splash of light coming from behind me to make sure that I don't actually bleed into the background. And I love this look. You can get that contrasty look with this 24-inch beauty dish, but you could also pull this light in front of you a little bit more, maybe like right in front of you, just out of frame, and you get this much softer look as well. And this is known as butterfly lighting. If I slide a little reflector underneath me here, you can get this really nice clamshell look, maybe better for a female, but me, a grizzly 6'7", 245-pound man, I think I'm better suited with a little bit of contrast going on here. And that's why I think that 24-inch beauty dish is such a versatile light modifier, and one you should definitely consider. A lot of people ask me, should I get a softbox with a grid? What does a grid even do? The grid will essentially control the light even further, and making sure that the light points in one direction, minimizing that spill of light. And if you're working in a tight space and you're going for that darker look, I would definitely suggest going with that grid. It's a tool that really comes down to personal preference, and you would just ask yourself, are you okay with a little bit of spill, or are you shooting in a tight space where you want to minimize that light hitting the background? In my studio here, I actually kind of want that light to hit that bookshelf behind me a little bit. Otherwise, like that bookshelf, it looks like too black. And you wouldn't see like Tony the Tiger back there if there wasn't any kind of light spilling onto the background. Sometimes, I want to control the light as much as possible, and that's when I might slap on a grid. But for this situation, it's not really necessary. That about wraps up this video here. Like I said, short and sweet, but if you have any questions, leave it down in the comments below. I love talking lighting, and I think this is something people definitely neglect pretty hard when they're trying to put things together and think about creating great videos. So subscribe, let me know if you want to see more lighting techniques on this channel, and I will see you in the next one.